What do slave owners and North Dakotan farmers have in common? It's their love for the Electoral College. In my opinion, the Electoral College is inherently undemocratic, and it's a terrible way to choose our president. This is why I believe the Electoral College should be abolished. First, let's start off with some history. The Electoral College was created by our founding fathers when they were writing the Constitution. It was a compromise between the North and the South, which is a recurring theme in our history. It's only happened 100,000 times. The Electoral College was designed to give states with smaller populations more power when choosing the president. But in reality, it was created to protect slavery. Southern governors at the time when the government was being first created knew that if a president was directly elected through a popular vote, that because of the much larger population in the North, they would be the ones that dominate the election, not the South. This meant that slavery would be threatened. So they were the ones who demanded that there was an Electoral College. So we know the Electoral College was vouched for by slave owners, but why is it so undemocratic? The Electoral College gives more powers to some votes and less to others. Not only are some states worth more than others in terms of votes per person, but a massive percent of the population is not being represented within the state, and if we're talking about the entire election. For example, if you live in Vermont, your vote is worth 4 times as much as if a Texan guy voted, because how small the population is in comparison to how many Electoral College votes they get. So per capita, your vote is worth so much more. Now, like I said before, this was done intentionally. But why though? Why should one person's vote be worth less than another's? In what way is that democratic? That's the way the Electoral College is set up. It's meant to be why the presidential candidates don't have to ignore the small states. They can't ignore the small states. But the reality is they still do. The only thing that matters every 4 years to these candidates are not, what's going on with the farmers in North Dakota right now? Or, what's going on in Vermont right now? The thing that matters most to these candidates now are swing states. Look at this graph of ads portrayed in terms of which state got the most ads in 2020. Notice a theme? Here are the Electoral College swing states for the year. It's the same thing. The Electoral College cares more about swing states than it does small states, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Another thing the Electoral College does is makes people not want to vote. If you live in California and are a Republican, your vote doesn't count with the Electoral College system. It just simply doesn't. In 2020, 5 million people voted for Trump in California, but they aren't getting any representation. Obviously, California's a blue state. It's been a blue state for, 20 years? Maybe longer. You just need a majority of votes. The rest are irrelevant. So they aren't getting any representation just because they were a smaller minority. It could be just a 2% difference or even smaller, like in Georgia this year. Half those Georgians aren't getting a representation that they wanted. We need to make each vote matter, no matter which side it is. Whether it's 5 million Republicans in California or 1 million Democrats in Tennessee this year. The solution to this problem would be to abolish the Electoral College and instead have each vote be worth the same, no matter where you are in the country. This isn't a partisan issue. This is an issue with our democracy. We need to have popular, direct elections for our president. This country is built on the foundation of representation. Don't you remember the no taxation without representation? That's exactly what the Electoral College does to millions of Americans. This popular vote would force candidates to reach out to the most people as possible, not just the ones that live in swing states, and not just the big cities either, because a majority of the big cities in America don't contain the majority of the people. The founding fathers couldn't have known how different the country is now with the internet. This is only possible through the internet now. That's why I wouldn't argue for it to be a thing back then. Now, it's more important because now you can instantly reach everyone in the country no matter what state they're in. This is another reason why we should amend the Constitution. The founding fathers could never have foreseen this. And we need to abolish the Electoral College. Imagine a world where candidates have their messages and campaigns reach everyone in the country, and with a popular vote, they have to. They can't ignore blue states or red states. They have to look at each American individually and win their vote. Every vote will be worth the same. You won't be seen as a worthless vote in a red state, or a vote that's worth 4 times as many as a Texan's like Vermont. Your vote will be just that. It'll be your vote. Over 700 proposals have been made in Congress to either reform or to get rid of the Electoral College. It is the most proposed amendment to the Constitution that we've ever had since it was created. So what I want you to do is please consider calling your representatives in Congress, texting your representatives in Congress. Hell, post about it on social media. Hashtag cancel the Electoral College 2024. And then maybe the next time there's an amendment you can vote on, you can vote to get rid of the undemocratic Electoral College. Thank you for your time.